So I had a really great question sent to me in Messenger from a teacher, and for some reason I've been getting a lot of this type of question asked recently, especially with my clients as well. So I thought this would be a really good video just to be able to dive deeper into this question and make sure that if anyone else is wondering about this, like you have my perspective on it as well. So they asked, I've had a few setbacks, but I'm getting a little tired of the one-on-one thing aside maybe a few students and considering the hybrid model again. I'm considering going for it. Uh, Putting something on my website telling how we'll be doing 3 online sessions a week. They can come to whatever ones they can and they can access the course material, basically how you're running your program. Now, here's what makes me really nervous. I've created a basic curriculum where I have 2 levels. I don't have any videos for them. I don't have any music, nothing but the PDFs. I know I would need to take at least a couple weeks to get things organized in my head and begin thinking about the marketing side. But do you think it's kind of crazy to just go for it? Is it this isn't the best way to say it, but like basically winging it, developing more as I go along, or do you think I should take my time and carefully plan it all out? So great question. Thanks for asking this. But I've also had clients ask me this like very recently as well. I have a few clients like launching their hybrid model. What I will say is that this is, I wouldn't say like the make or break point, but what you decide to do here, if you are in this stage where you're about to launch your new program, you're really excited, but you're also a little bit nervous about it, that's okay. But also, this is kind of like the key moments here that will really define what happens after you launch it, right? How you approach this launch is really going to determine how successful it is, how successful your students are going to be as well. Because I've been teaching this hybrid model for, I would say, at least the past couple years, 2 3 years, and a big part of it is not really having confidence in the program. I hear a lot of my clients be like, "Oh, I need to wait till I get a lot of confidence in my program." And I recently created a post about this too, about how it's not just going to be, having a successful hybrid model uh, is not going to be dependent on you feeling confident about the actual program that you're launching. Because a lot of times, if you're launching a new group program, if you're launching a new online course, if you're launching like a new membership or some sort, and you're wanting to really scale that, chances are you're like it's not going to be your main way of it hasn't been your main way of teaching, right? It's probably something really new. It's probably something that you have to get used to. And just like for us when we started teaching, just like us when we started learning music, it's going to take time. And what we have to do is we have to be able to give us the grace. We have to give us the compassion that it's not going to be perfect in the beginning. It's not going to be amazing at the start, but it's going to be pretty rough. And we have to set the expectation for ourselves that we're going to mess up, we're going to make mistakes, and that's going to be okay. Because I've had some clients in the past, especially with teaching the hybrid model in the beginning, I was still figuring it out. Right, my teachers, my clients were still figuring it out as well. Some were successful, but also some were really nervous going into it. And what I have found between the my successful clients who have successfully transitioned into their hybrid model, who have gotten to that 6-figure music school level, versus the ones that tried it out but went back to just teaching one-on-ones, went back to what they were complacent with, is really the courage that they had to just take it and really run with it. So the quick answer to your question here, like the way that I like to do it is I like to approach my business the same way as I approach my music. And with music and pretty much my life, I'm just the type of person that dives headfirst into things. Right. When when I said I was going to be a music major, like in my senior year of high school, going into college, I said I was going to be a music major because that's the only thing I really knew what to do. But rather than like thinking about it and like really trying to have my whole life planned out, I really just followed where my intuition was telling me. And I was like, I love music. I don't see an end to me like liking music. So I'm going to do that for college. even though, right, everybody's saying like you're not going to make a lot of money doing music, like you're going to be prepared, you have to be prepared to do to live the rest of your life as a broke musician. Like those thoughts are obviously going in my head, but I didn't let that stop me from being able to take that next step. And then same thing with like teaching music as well and teaching piano. I started teaching piano the summer between my senior year of high school and my freshman year of college. So before I even like learned anything about how to teach music, I dove headfirst into just teaching it. And maybe you did the same as well. Just think about the beginning of your teaching career when you didn't really know what to do, but you believed in yourself and you trusted your own skills and you trusted your own ability to learn the skills needed to be a successful teacher. And look where you are now. But oftentimes, what I see with teachers like transitioning into the hybrid model is there is this like really important period in that transition where all of the fears start coming up, all of the doubts start coming up, all of the normal things start coming up, because these fears, these doubts, they're telling you that you are about to reach your boundary, you're about to be out of bounds in this game of life. What you need to do is you need to be able to be aware of that, not repress it, but just be aware of that and tell yourself that like, hey, this means that I am reaching my boundary. Am I going to stretch it or am I going to sink back in? Right? Who are you going to be in this moment determines how the hybrid model is going to be successful later on. Because with my most successful clients, like for example, I have an interview with one of my past clients, Tristan, who is like a social media music teacher alumni. He started his hybrid model as well with his adult piano students, but I would say the main reason why he was so successful with it was not because he was confident in the program, was not because he planned it all out, but it was because he had the courage to just be like, I don't know exactly what this is going to look like, but I know this is the way that I want to grow. This is I know why I'm launching this program. I know why it's so valuable, and I'm just going to do it anyway. I'm going to have the courage to get back into that position where I have to figure things out. A lot of you watching this, you're already great at teaching. Like I know that. You've probably been teaching longer than like I've been alive as well. But like you've been through like you've been through it all. You've probably been through most. You probably taught group lessons before. You probably have created online material before. But actually doing that as your main offering now, it can be a little scary. It can be a little scary knowing that like you have to get back into that beginner teaching mode again. But like success with the hybrid model, it doesn't come down. The reason why it's so valuable, and the reason why it isn't the most easiest like transition to make is because it doesn't require you to have like there's no like strategy or tactic that you can use to fake your way through it. It really requires you to stretch your boundary and to be the type of person, to be the type of teacher that is always looking to stretch themselves. Right? I feel like the hybrid model is perfect for teachers who feel like what they are doing now, the way that they are teaching, is not serving them and is not serving their students anymore. It's like this is just so like the way that I'm teaching right now is so clockwork. It's so like it's almost getting to points where it's a little bit mundane now. And I need a new way to challenge myself. I need a new way to challenge my students. I feel like the teacher that is that way is the one that is always going to be the most successful, is because they're always growing, they're always adapting, they're always changing. So thinking about that for yourself as well, what part of your music school is not serving you anymore, right? Like like everything you should like their music school should be serving you. It should be your tool as a way to stretch yourself as a teacher. It should be your tool to see what your boundaries are, to see how much you can grow, see your potential as a person, as a teacher. But oftentimes I'm seeing music school owners go the opposite way, where they're serving their business, where they're like bowing down to it of like, I need to take off a weekend in order to grow this even more, or I need to hire out another teacher because it needs to grow out even more. Like no, it doesn't have to be that way, right? It has to be the way that you want to. And I believe that this is going to be the most successful for the teachers that are always looking for the next challenge, are always looking for the next, like the next way that they can grow. Not just the business, but they're the ones that understand that when they grow, when they challenge themselves, the business grows as a part of that. So wanted to be able to share that. Like that is what I've seen, like the most successful teachers transition, the smoothest, not necessarily the easiest, because transitions like this shouldn't be easy, and it's not going to be easy, but it is going to be worth it, because the power of your offers, the power of your program, the power of your lessons, that if you could just reach more students with that you would create such a bigger impact. But I would say again, remind yourself, don't let that fear, don't let the doubt of I don't know exactly what I'm doing to stop you from being able to grow, from being able to launch this as soon as possible. So again, it's up to you what you want to do. If you want to plan it all out and take your time, take as much time as you need, because you're on this journey for yourself. But if you've been like lagging behind on this, you've been procrastinating on this, it's time to be able to really scale this up, then you know follow everything that we talked about in this video. Think about, who do I need to be in this moment to make sure I can get what I want. So would love to hear your thoughts on this. Hope it helps, and I will see you soon.